I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody
Los Angeles that afternoon seemed ordinary. The sun set slowly behind the tall buildings, illuminating the bustling streets. But to the millions of hearts watching, something was far from ordinary. In the heart of the city, two long-missed names met again, in a silence that made the world pause for a moment. V and Jungkook stood in the same frame, but not a word came from their agency. HYBE chose silence. There was no clarification, no official statement. But ARMY didn't need words. Because there was a language stronger than any statement. Body language, gaze, and a small symbol on their finger that made everyone's heart slowly crumble. That tattoo, a small tattoo that held great meaning. The number 7, once a promise, now spoke again silently. It wasn't just ink on skin. It was a memory, a declaration, and a love that had never truly left. When the camera captured it, the world felt as if it were witnessing souls finding their embrace again. Jungkook and Taehyung didn't say much. But their presence in a city far from home was the most honest form of communication. They didn't need a lengthy explanation. One smile was enough to show that they still cared for each other. Still trusted each other, even though the world had once pushed them apart. Armies who witnessed that moment knew exactly how it felt, like rain after a long drought. Like a hug after a breakup. Not all wounds need to be discussed. But this meeting was an antidote that couldn't be bought. A silence that healed more than 1,000 words. Amidst HYBE's cold demeanor, the love between these two friends warmed the world. There were no promotional messages, no release plans. Just two people finding each other amidst thousands of city lights, and their presence became a beacon of light for those who had long awaited clarity. This reunion wasn't just about two idols. It was about re-embracing hope. About dreams that weren't completely extinguished. About a story that couldn't be destroyed by industry strategy or deliberate distance. They were proof that a true bond will find its way, even if the world tries to hold it back. Many thought their relationship had grown strained. Many believed the narrative constructed by the media and the company's silence. But that day in Los Angeles, one by one, those preconceptions began to crumble. And from the ruins, a love emerged that endured, even though the official narrative had forgotten it. Taehyung and Jungkook stood together, and the world remembered again. That behind all the stage names, there were two young people who had grown up together, who had cried in the same practice room, who had shared dreams when the world didn't know their names yet. They didn't create a crowd. But precisely because of that, this meeting felt all the more real. There was no stage, no fanfare, just a closeness that never faded, even though it was blocked by invisible boundaries. The tattoo, and their gaze, bore witness to something deeper than mere friendship. The public might have waited for an explanation. But ARMY simply stared with tears in their eyes. Because they knew this wasn't about business. This was about friendship. About the courage to keep showing up, even though the world might not want them together anymore. There's something special about a relationship that's undeclared, but always felt. A relationship that's not flaunted, but never truly gone. And Taehyung and Jungkook have proven that such love still exists, and is still alive. Los Angeles has become a historic place. It wasn't because of a big concert, but because two hearts were beating at the same rhythm again. In silence, they found a way to remain present. And from that silence, a story was born that will be cherished forever in the hearts of fans. The same tattoos, the steps side by side, the unfeigned laughter. All of it spoke a language that couldn't be manipulated. And it was enough to make the world believe again that a genuine relationship can never truly be broken. In the spotlight, the two remained as they had always been. No walls, no distance. Just two souls who had leaned on each other through difficult times. And now, while time has changed everything, one thing remains: they were never truly apart. HYBE chose to remain silent. But the public chose to believe what they saw. And what was seen that day was a love that could not be faked. A reunion that wasn't sold as content, but existed as a moment, pure and touching. Many asked, was this a sign? Would there be another togetherness in the future? But perhaps, that day wasn't about the future. Maybe it was about now. About the courage to be present. About loyalty that doesn't need to be celebrated on a grand scale. And if that one moment were all they shared, it would have been more than enough. Because it touched the hearts of millions watching from afar. And it will be remembered not for its grandeur, but for its sincerity. They didn't write a caption. They didn't make any promises. But everything was already represented in their eyes and their softly smiling faces. The world knew, this wasn't a setup. This was two friends reuniting in a strange place, and finding a home in each other. ARMY cried not because of sadness, but because of relief. Because what had been a hope was now a reality. The reunion wasn't just about them. It was about every fan who believed that a true bond would endure, even if the world changed everything. And as night fell on the city that never truly sleeps, the fans' hearts were at ease. Because they knew, even in the silence, something had returned. No big flags needed. Just one smile, and everything felt whole again. HYBE may have remained silent. But that moment spoke louder than words. He had told the world that love and friendship cannot be controlled by anyone. They grow on their own, and will return on their own, when the time comes. In a world that changes quickly and easily forgets, this moment became an anchor. An anchor for those who still believe that beautiful things can happen without script. That simple togetherness can rekindle a fading spirit. V and Jungkook didn't announce their reunion. But the world heard. The world felt. And because of that, their brief encounter will be remembered as one of those small miracles that reminds everyone that true connection can never be silenced. The tattoo will remain. Like a promise still etched. Like a story unfinished. And as long as it remains, the world will continue to believe that they, though on different paths, still carry each other in their hearts. And that day, in Los Angeles, Taehyung and Jungkook didn't just meet. They calmed the world. They healed wounds. They gave hope that there is still room for genuine love to grow in the midst of a measured industry. That night, the Los Angeles air carried a strange warmth. It was as if time had slowed down just to make room for two friends who had rediscovered each other. Amidst the noise of the world, they became the silence most longed for. An embrace unseen, but felt in the hearts of all who loved. There was no music to accompany it. No stage to frame it. But that moment meant more than 1,000 concerts ever had. Because it was born of sincerity. Because it came without a script. Because it was a true story, about a meeting unplanned, but destined. And the world watched with tears in their eyes. ARMY, who had been silently harboring hope, wept silently. Not because they were broken, but because they could finally breathe a sigh of relief. The reunion wasn't just a meeting of two people, but the reunion of a part of a family that had felt lost. Jungkook and Taehyung didn't say, "We're back." But everyone knew. From the way they looked at each other, from the naturalness of their gestures, from the comfort that only comes from long-standing closeness. They weren't starting over. They were simply continuing something that was never truly finished. And HYBE? They remained silent. Still maintaining boundaries, still holding back the narrative. But the public no longer waited for them. Because the public had seen the truth with their own eyes. A truth that couldn't be covered up by official statements or media framing. In every tiny detail captured on camera, ARMY read thousands of stories. About how love never needs explanation. About how togetherness isn't about contracts, but about connection. And that connection proved stronger than anything that tried to tear them apart. That day may have been fleeting. But the impression it left will last. Because it wasn't just about V and Jungkook. It was about who we were when we saw them. About memories revived, about hopes re-embraced, about wounds slowly healing. The reunion wasn't a major event on the calendar. But it was a major event in the heart. And the heart doesn't need a calendar. It just needs a reason to believe again. And that day, Los Angeles witnessed that reason still exists, and remains true. No matter how far they travel, they will always find each other. Because a bond built with love cannot be broken by distance or policy. It will always be there, even when everything else changes. It will live on between them. Taehyung and Jungkook are mirrors of each other. They are two worlds that once grew side by side. And when they stand together again, the world feels complete. Like something that was lost has finally returned to its rightful place. For ARMY, this is more than just a reunion. It's a reminder that what's true is never lost. It may be late. It may be hidden. But it's never truly gone. And in a single encounter, everything that was blurred becomes clear again. There's no script, but the story is perfect. There's no dialogue, but the message gets through. Because this is a story written by the heart, not by management, not by agenda. And such stories will always have a place in the deepest memories.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be